Two Marines, one damn mic, talking sense and straight senseless all night. This is Sense and Senseless.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Sense and Senseless podcast. I am Brian.
And I'm Jason.
He is Jason.
You know, real quick before you get going on this segment, every time I hear that song now, I swear if I had a pole in my room, I'd be working it.
All right.
6'1", about 250. I think I put a little more weight on, but yeah, that'd
TMI.
yeah. Maybe later down. Maybe we'll take a poll on this, guys. If y'all like to see it, just put it in the comment. We want to see Jason on a stripper pole.
We can vote now. No. So that's no. That's no. I'm taking,
okay. That's a big no. Brian just spoke for the masses. That would be a big hell no.
All right. So if this is your first time joining us, welcome to the family. Welcome.
Sorry for that for you first timers.
We're just two regular guys breaking down shit happening in the world in a way that everyone can understand. So tonight we're diving headfirst into two massive spectacles. First, we're going to talk about Trump throwing himself a UFC fight night at the White House. So there's a clear divide between the elites at ringside and everyone else watching on screens about a half mile away. So was it epic patriotism or just billionaire birthday vibes? We'll discuss that. Then we're going to discuss the memorandum of understanding that we signed this week, you know, to end the Iran war or give us 60 days to figure everything out. We're going to discuss, was it worth it and who really won? And why does it feel like the same cycle of Middle East wars keeps repeating while the rest of us pay the bill? You know, we'll talk false flags, the war on terror, and what we need to watch out for during these next 60 days of negotiations. Please like, share, follow, and subscribe. We love each and every one of you. Jason, got anything before we start?
Nope. Just appreciate everybody joining the ride. Let's have fun tonight.
Yeah, let's have fun. So did you watch the UFC 250 last week?
No, I did not watch it. I'd seen some clips. I don't watch it. I don't even know where you go anymore. Is it ESPN Plus or something like that now?
This one was on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, Paramount. Was it free?
Yeah, Paramount Plus.
I got that shit, dude. I got it.
Well, it's as free as the subscription. You know,
I know, but I'm talking all the other UFC fights they used to be on pay-per-view. Then they moved them to ESPN Plus where you had to pay like $200.
Man, I don't know. I'm just talking about this one. I don't fucking know. Look it up.
I don't even know you watch the shit. No, I did not watch it, but I did see the one dude called Michelle Obama a dude.
Yeah, that was funny. I don't care who you are. That was funny.
It was funny, but that was a big case of Tourette's right there. So, and sorry for anybody that has Tourette's or family members that have Tourette's. I'm not making fun of that. Just a disclaimer.
The guy saw he had a moment. He took his shot. Was it ethical? Was it moral? Should he have done it? Probably not.
Probably not.
But he took his shot, and I applaud him for doing that. You know, not many people are going to do that. So teach down. They talking about him now, aren't they?
You know that guy at work that walks the dude out to his car after he gets fired and said, "Dude, I applaud you for taking your shot, but you probably shouldn't have done it."
Well, it is the truth.
He's probably not going to fight again for UFC. I'll tell you that.
Not for the UFC. He might fight for the KFC, but he ain't fighting for the UFC.
Yeah.
Or the PFC. That's what it is. Yeah, the KFC, that's the bare knuckles, BKNC. Bare knuckles.
Oh, well, the KFC I know is Colonel Sanders and his fried chicken. So.
All right. Well, I didn't even know if it was his birthday. You know, I didn't. So
the fighter's birthday?
No, it was Trump's birthday Sunday. So he
so
this motherfucker basically had, well, he didn't basically, he did. He had a UFC fight night for his birthday party. You know, you go get your kids a bouncy house and think you're doing something. This motherfucker got the UFC
fighting. He got it like that, dude.
No, but you can see how that would make people mad. Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I enjoyed the fucking show, you know. I was
I
kind
mean,
of confused why it was on Sunday instead of Saturday, but after I heard it was his birthday, then I figured out, well, that's why it was on Sunday. So
but you know what Trump's mentality was? Don't hate us because you ain't us, right? I mean, when you got it, you got it.
yeah, I'm not mad at him.
You
Did
you
it? If you didn't like Trump and you don't like UFC, and you know you hated this. If you like the UFC, I'm telling you, the fights were good. I think they told them fighters there was going to be like no stoppage and they wasn't going to full rounds because these motherfuckers went out there and beat the fuck out of each other. I mean,
so it was a good
oh
beat
yeah,
down on
it
that
was
one?
one of the best cards I've ever seen. You know, these guys. If you like just fucking brutal fights, these guys were tough, man. That was some tough
Right,
son of bitches out there. And if you don't like that, it was just a spectacle to you. You know, it's
right.
Trump bad, and I can see it both ways. But I enjoyed the fight, so I didn't care. You know.
I
Now I can say that I don't like mixing, sports and politics. I don't enjoy that aspect. But as
no.
far as watching the fights, and and it was awkward when it started because they had him and Dana White walked out of the White House. So they walk in and it's just awkward. They just walking, passing by all the president's pictures and shit. And I know you have to stage a little bit, but I mean, come on. I mean, just put him in his seat. That I didn't like that so much. But they did they sung the national anthem and it had the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds fly over.
Right.
And what sold me on everything, at that point watching them walking on, man, this is just stupid. I didn't enjoy that part. But when I seen Dana White's face when them fucking planes flew over, dude, them fighters,
Yeah.
he was like a kid. You can see that was genuine fucking like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
think about it. There's only two people in the world that,
I had to
and
smoke a
I'm
little
going to
bit.
show it to you, but there's only two people in the world that had that vantage point, and he was one of them. Think about
Right.
that. That probably
Right.
will never happen again. And he
Right.
was there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he can die and go to heaven now.
To me, yeah, that was cool as hell. You know,
Yeah, but this whole elite and peasant or, the regular people, oh, can we not just get somebody in there? I don't mind you doing that. I really don't. I think it's cool because it's blue collar. To me,
yeah.
UFC is like blue collar.
Oh yeah.
Football, blue collar. Can we not like the Super Bowl? You know what I would be really excited for? You make all this money in commercials, right? They make a ton. We have to do the research. I don't even know. It used to be a ton of money, and it's got to be bigger now of how much money they make off commercials during the Super Bowl for 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's millions.
Because everybody watches them. Everybody's more excited. A lot of people that don't like football just watch it for the commercials because everybody's coming out with their best commercials because of the money. Back on track. Can we not get people to throw stuff like this to this proportion and keep the elites out and make it where the common man, those are the people that vote for you. Those are the people that can make or break you.
Yep, and that's one of the problems I had with this, and we're gonna discuss that in a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm just like the Super Bowl. All these dang broke people pay they don't make a house payment, don't make a car payment, don't pay the gas bill. They don't pay some of their bills just to go to a football game to support their team because they're that passionate about it. You see them in the stand, you know them dudes ain't got a broke nickel, but they're at that game giving it all they got. And I'm not judging them. Go have fun, go live your life. But at the end of the day, they can't go to a Super Bowl because all these damn elites drive the cost up where they can't afford to even go. So they supported their team the whole damn year and they can't even go watch them in the final championship game because freaking somebody that's got Hollywood stars and shit like that, that got money that don't even give a shit about the sport
I
can pay.
agree with you. I really do. I understand exactly where you're going because in the 2009 season when the Saints won the Super Bowl, you
Yeah,
can. Luckily, my ex sister-in-law had season tickets, so we'd go to the games, and you can
right.
see how during the season the fans were changing. So
Yeah,
I mean, you had just the raw fans at the beginning, and then by the time we got to the championship game, it was just a bunch of fucking suits, you
yeah,
know, and it just changed.
yeah,
It wasn't as fun. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the fuck out of them, winning that NFC championship game.
right.
But like it's just like wasn't as gritty, you know. It's just you wanted it wasn't there anymore, and I understand what you're saying, but are you saying that they should get their chance to buy a ticket and pay less than somebody who's willing to pay more? So if I own a ticket, I should sell it to this guy because he has $50 and this guy got 1,000 because this guy is more passionate.
I guarantee the Raw people would get the tickets quicker. I think they would because they're that damn into it. These Hollywood stars that just want to be seen. That's all they're there for, is just to be seen.
Oh,
I want some more camera time. I want some more camera time. Look at me. Look at me. You don't even know what the hell football is.
But they can afford a $high ticket.
Yeah, I know.
My whole point is this is the game of the year, right? The Super Bowl is the game of the year.
Yes.
And everybody wants to go there. And
Yes.
I own the ticket. So I'm the person that's selling the tickets.
Yes.
You willing to pay $1,000 for a ticket. And this guy, even though he got his $50 that he paid every week, and he's willing to pay that.
I don't have that mindset, Brian.
I know. I understand what you're saying. I'm just showing you the other way. I agree with you. But it's never going to change.
I know. I'm just asking. That's my wish. It's my wish. Wishes don't ever happen. You know what I'm saying?
When I
maybe somebody will hear this. Maybe somebody will hear this that has some power and be like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
Are you happy now?
No, I'm not.
All right. Well, I'm going to show you how happy this man was when he seen the flyover. Here's Dana White.
All right.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
But that motherfucker looked happy as fucking fuck. You know, like on Christmas, he was just getting the best present in the world. I love that. You can't fake that.
Right.
You can't.
No, you can't. No, that's not a fake thing. But Trump needs to tuck that thumb in on that salute, though. I had to critique.
Well, watch this.
Well, yeah, look, dude.
You can't fake that.
Yeah.
That is awesome to me.
I'd make a comment too of what that is for a grown man, but I'm gonna keep it PG tonight.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean that is pure excitement.
It is. I'm saying that I've made those faces before when I've been told something like, hell yeah. Like,
they said this event cost $60 million, but they said that the UFC had covered all of it. And the UFC even lost $30 million. That's what they said.
How?
I don't know. I don't know how true that is. They said, this is another thing I read. They had roughly 250 VIP packages that they were selling for $1 million to $1.5 million, $1.5 million, right?
Okay.
But to be fair, they said they didn't sell all of them. So even if they sold half of them, that's still what, at the least 125 million.
Yeah.
They paid 60 to put this thing on. I don't know who got the money. I don't know where the money went. And then Paramount that plays these motherfuckers that host these things that put them on television.
Yeah.
So they pay the UFC $1.1 billion a year. So they got a 7-year contract worth $7.7 billion.
Right.
And then there was more than a dozen sponsors listed that generated roughly another 30 million in revenue from what I read.
Right.
Now, I don't know their finances, but and this is all low level shit, but I just don't believe they lost money on this. I just don't. And if they did, we paid for it. You know what I'm getting at?
Right.
Now, from what I read, they said that the taxpayer wasn't on the hook for anything outside of like the $12 million that they used for like security and the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and the Golden Knights, the Marine Corps Band, et cetera. But other than that, it didn't cost us anything.
Right.
So you ought to be happy with that, didn't it?
And before anybody out there that's never been in the military, especially near the air wing, because we were both in the air wing and the Marine Corps, and you're like, well, look at all that jet fuel that was wasted with the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds and all that stuff. And and the details and the security, then people are getting that stuff's getting wasted every day, all the time. Agree?
Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
That one little flyover didn't make a whole lot of dent in what they already do every day. They train and fly, and pilots are all over when you're on an airbase, that's all you hear is planes flying around all day, all day. You get sick and tired of it.
Yeah, you do.
So I don't sit there. Well, yeah, it was our taxpayer money, all that jet fuel and blah, 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 blah. Shut up. The dude had a birthday. And
So,
when you
so you,
roll,
so you saying you justify him doing all that at the White House
I'm fine with it. I think it's cool as hell.
because what? I'm just curious.
Because it's stop putting that place up on a pedestal like it's a sacred ground. It's not sacred. It's a it's a government building. It's no different than having a fair or a carnival or whatever at your courthouse
No, I
in
think
your
it's a
local
lot
community.
different. Than that.
I don't think it is. I think it's cool.
Okay, yeah, I get
And I
that,
think
but
the people involved, like the fighters and all that stuff, dude, that's probably the top of their pedestal. Even if you're not a belt holder and you got your ass beat, you got to fight in an octagon on the White House lawn.
I agree with that. Do you think that? Here's the problem I have with it.
Okay.
I agree with it. I'm not arguing your point at all. What I will argue is if you already got half the country that hates you, I guess they're just going to hate you more. Now, whether you did that or not, they're going to hate you. So I get that. So you
Right.
just soon do it. It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. I understand that. But it does, if you are on the other side, it does look like you just built yourself a coliseum and you brought in the games.
Yeah, if you're going to go that route, yeah, I
Well,
can
no,
see.
because I'm going
I
to show
can
you.
go. Yeah, I can see that side of it, but I'm just saying I can compartmentalize what he's doing.
No, I get that. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that. And if he wanted to do it again, I mean, to each their own. I can't tell him what to do. He's the motherfucking president. You know, I if I could tell the government what they were going to do, I wouldn't be paying the amount of fucking taxes I pay. So there's
Cool.
nothing I can do about it. So I enjoy it. You know,
Right.
having said that, knowing that how other people feel about the man, if you take a step back, you know, from your
Mhm.
40,000 fucking foot view
But
and you look down,
yeah,
it don't look good. It just don't. You know, on
it
on the
looks
big.
like a distraction for all the other shit that's been going on.
No, I wouldn't say that because he had it planned so long, but it's a spectacle, you know, and don't it looks like yes, in one breath, yes, it's a distraction, but I don't think it's a distraction from the Iran thing because it was planned well before that. Does that make sense? But
Yeah,
I
but
think
you got the Epstein.
yeah,
The,
distractions for that. Yes, okay, yeah,
yes, I'm talking about all the stuff that he's not done.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. Now, what
You know,
really got me?
real quick, I seen a TikTok. I haven't rolled your whole thing, so I don't want to spoil nothing here, but I have seen a TikTok where this one girl. You see some weird shit in the middle of the night. I'll tell you that because I work third shift, so I see some weird TikToks in the middle of the night. But it was this one girl saying that she follows this other girl that's made a lot of predictions with Trump and all this stuff, and a lot of this stuff's came true. So I don't know where the woman's getting her stuff, but she really thinks that kind of. So back to the Epstein file stuff, further into it with the little beef with Israel, that this shit Israel could release that stuff. So, anyways, I'm just saying
I don't know what you said, but okay.
that Israel, because of the banter, like we're kind of pulling away because we're trying to make a deal. They don't want to make a deal, and we're talking about distractions and all that.
Yeah.
That Israel can like. What did we say? Why are we? What spun him? What turned him? What? And we say somebody's got to have something over top. Somebody's got to be holding something, right? That
Mhm.
ace of spades, and they're just waiting to drop that thing, and they're holding it over everybody's head, and that's why everybody's so scared, except for Massey and MTG and that other dude who's that Democrat that
Rokana.
Rocon, yeah. those people there are kind of voicing their mouth, but everybody else is just keeping hush and ain't pushing nothing because somebody's got some stuff over something. Well, what this girl's trying to say is she thinks if we start pulling away from Israel and be like, you know what, we've had enough of this shit, Israel's going to come out and release all that crap
Go
to
for it.
blow. Yeah, I'm fine with it, but they think that it'll just destroy us, like America would just fall apart.
Probably would.
But anyways, yeah, so it's yeah, I see the distraction for the other stuff. I know it had nothing to do with the Iranian war because, like you said, it was planned way before that happened. Uh, but
Mm.
I don't know. I can put stuff in boxes and not put lines connecting them. But I understand how somebody could stand over top and be like, "Oh, it all goes together. It all goes together." Sometimes it doesn't for me. I thought it was cool.
Okay. Now, what really got me though was you got all these people that paid millions of dollars right next to the ring. You know, like
Right.
you said for fucking Super Bowl. People, you got veterans that were in stands,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. I applaud that. You know, guys that
Yes.
got to go there. Then
Appreciate.
it,
Yeah, appreciate that.
yeah, then there was thousands of people watching it from a screen, probably about a half mile away, and it might have been a half mile, but it was a good fucking ways. I mean, these big ass fucking screens, and it was like you had all these people in the Coliseum was all these rich motherfuckers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
watching this shit up close and personal, and you put all your
Mm-hmm.
peasants in the back to watch the screen. So yes, you said earlier, like a fair, they don't separate you like that in the fair. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no. It's not even white trash. So let's get that out of the way. It's black, Mexican, Oriental. It's trash. Affair is just all trash combined together. Everybody's just all mingled up. No
Yeah,
matter what you, yeah, from Method Mike to or Method Johnny and Mike, and they're all kin to the guy that's got all the money in the county. They're all mingling together at the fair. No, everybody's fair. It's fair people is
that's
what I
right.
call it. When you
Carnies
show
and
up to the
shit.
fair,
Yeah.
yeah, you're part of the Carney family. I mean, I don't care what your background is or what your money is, but yeah, you're right. Eh, how do you fix that? How do you, I don't like that, dude. I'm telling you, I don't.
Well, you just said about how much you just like this shit.
No, I don't like that they use the elite, that they give them all the privileges
No,
there.
they do. I agree with it. They do. And don't get me wrong. If I was out there, I'd be watching them fucking big screens. I'd be out there with them. I love the
Yeah,
UFC, you know. And if I
yeah,
had a
yeah.
chance to attend something that's probably never gonna happen again,
Yes,
I would
yes.
fucking be there. You know.
Yes, because you're a big concert goer. You and your wife like going to
Yeah.
concerts and all that. So if it was this big, you name whatever would be the pinnacle concert of like four bands together that would never tour together, but if they did, it'd be the pinnacle.
Mhm.
You would go to that concert knowing every elite bought all the good seats, and you were up in the nosebleed section
I
and
don't
had to
know if any
watch.
elites are going to the concerts I go to, even the Pinnacle.
Use your imagination, Brian. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I gotcha.
If you can only afford the seats up in the nosebleed section, you would
Gotcha.
still go
Yeah,
just to say I was there.
you're right.
I didn't get to see the show worth of crap, but I was there.
And that's what bothered me on this. You can clearly see the fucking divide, you know?
Yes. It looked like where muddy water, like salt water and river water come together.
Well, you could clearly see that this was a birthday celebration for Trump, you know,
Yeah. It was his
wrapped
elite.
in a patriotic love for the 250. It was not the
Yeah.
250, anniversary, and it was
No.
just Trump birthday.
The cake was his birthday. The icing was the 250th
Yeah,
anniversary.
there you go. You know,
Yeah.
so we get a bouncy house, they get a $60
That
million
was
event,
the
you know?
Salt Bay. You know, when Salt Bay brings the steak to the table and he sprinkles the salt on top of it, that
I
was the
have no idea what
250th.
you're talking about.
Ah, gosh. I'm gonna have to educate you some. I'll
No,
send
I'm
you some
good.
video. Don't make me get the stripper pole out, dude.
All right,
But anyway,
so we
yes.
get a bouncy house, and
Yes.
they get a $60 million event broadcast across the globe.
Right.
And I don't care what your political beliefs are, you know, I really don't. And
Right.
although we live in the same great country, we live totally different lives,
Right.
from our political and elite class.
Right.
We are not the same. We're not. And everyone wants to, be partisan with their politic person that they support or whatnot. We're not the same. We're just not. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what proved it. So this week we signed a memorandum of understanding in the war, meaning that we have another 60 days to discuss an agreement to end the shit.
Right.
And during that 60 days, both sides will try to do their best to make it look like they won. There will be some concessions from both the U.S. and Iran. And
Right.
if you read all the stuff, you understand what the concessions are. And that's just how it goes. You don't have an unconditional surrender unless you like blow somebody up like Japan. That's the only way you get that, So they're going to have to negotiate and figure this shit out. Now, here's the problem. How do they figure this shit out without Israel just fucking it all up?
Well,
and I don't really care what the deal looks like. I just want this shit to be done,
yeah, but from what I heard is right after we said we made the deal and all that stuff, that that next day or that same day or something, Israel started firing missiles back over there at Lebanon. Or
I don't know. That would have been today or yesterday because I don't know. I didn't hear that.
no, this was last week.
Well, no,
Or
they signed
earlier,
it. They
earliest
signed.
this week.
They signed
No.
this yesterday. That's what I was just saying.
Okay, but I'm saying earlier when they were saying that it was going to get signed and all this, and we're not doing nothing right now. It wasn't signed yet, but we stopped. Right, we said, okay, we're going to sign this, but right now we're not going to do nothing in good faith. And Israel just starts cranking missiles over there, and then Iran starts firing back at Israel. It's like the peace treaty to me needs to be everybody just stops, not just the U.S. just backs out. I guess I want to see everybody just stop. Leave them alone. Like, stop this shit. I'm tired of it, man.
Okay, they signed a peace agreement this week. All right, and that's part
Yes.
of it. All right, in case you didn't see that.
It wasn't part of it. They didn't stop. Israel
All right.
didn't.
So no, and that's going to be the problem in the next 60 days. So in my opinion, there's just no way to justify that war we just had. I don't give a fuck how you
No,
spend it. So what did we get out of going to war with Iran? Well,
nothing.
no. Well, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened to all traffic, and Iran will not be allowed to charge a toll. Instead, they will charge a fee, like an environmental fee for using the strait. All right. So let's also note that the Strait of Hormuz was open before the war started, and there was no fee or toll to use the fucking waterway.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
That's backwards.
So what else do we get? They said Iran will not have nuclear weapons. That is a win, even though this is still up for discussion according to the Iranian sources. But to be fair, we did blow up Iran's nuclear stockpile before we started this war. Remember, we obliterated this shit in the dead of the night.
100
No
over
moon.
100.
Yeah,
100
right
over
down
100.
the fucking chute. The most
right down the
beautiful
poop chute.
strike.
Right down the poop chute.
And nobody done this better than Luke whenever he fucking shot the Death Star. You know?
Yeah.
And I got to admit, I was impressed with that mission. It was badass. So that's a huge win for us, right? Somehow. I don't know how, but
Hold on. It sounded badass. We don't know exactly what happened, Brian. They could have just dropped some bombs in the desert somewhere and came back and said, yep, we were 100 over 100. We made fun of that because that's what the pilots at CAX and shit would do to us. Oh, yeah, I had 100. Nobody ever had a miss. It's like, but anyways, go on. Yeah. So,
but did they really have anything worth going to war over? And I'm not sure. But here's Trump earlier this week on what he thinks about this nuclear dust.
Okay. So the Atomic Energy just reported that it was one of the most devastating bombings that they've ever seen. The whole mountain collapsed on top of it. And frankly, to go get it, we're going to go get it. But to go get it is a big deal because they say only China and us have the equipment where you can even get the whole mountain has collapsed on top. We have cameras on it. You could make the case why you even bothering because it's not really valuable. It's, it's probably $500,000 one. It's not very valuable stuff, but I think psychologically we want to get it. Now,
Not valuable.
Well, psychologically, we want to go, what are we getting?
It doesn't matter what we get. We went to war because of that. That's not worth going get. You see what I'm getting at? It doesn't matter what he's going to get. He's admitting right there it ain't worth anything, but we went to war over that. That don't make any sense. I don't know.
That's why I get upset with him, because he makes no damn. I mean, now Biden was the human Roomba. Just, I mean, you knew that dude's mind was gone, but Trump was kind of like this his first term. He talks in circles sometimes, like a narcissist does. It's like somebody said, "Hey, we need to go over here," and he's like, "Are you sure?" Like, he trusts them. They do something, and it's not right, and he still tries to, instead of just saying, "You're out of here," like kicking him out. He can't admit, I shouldn't have listened to that person. My bad in public. I won't do it again. We got to make this right. He won't do that.
Well, he can't do that this time because the way he handpicked everyone, if they're not giving the right information, that's his fault.
He kicked everybody out of his cabinet that was telling him not to do this shit.
It doesn't matter what he has right there, right now. I agree with you saying, but what he has there right now, he chose that.
I know.
mean, he chose his cabinet. So even if they telling him the wrong shit and he's kicking the wrong people out, that's still his doing, regardless.
I know.
So I don't want to take that away from that. Now let's keep going on about what we got from Iran. And I'm not. All right, I'm glad we're done with this shit. But we had sanctions on Iran prior to the war, right?
Right.
And Iran was isolated to the world.
Right.
So now we may be lifting sanctions depending on how Iran acts.
Right.
So we went to war with Iran and totally destroyed their military, their air force, their navy, their missile silos, and their will to fight. Had to say that because I heard that shit every fucking day, right? Every day.
Every day.
But somehow, while we won this war, Iran's going to be better off. I mean, outside the destruction and shit that we caused, but all this could have been accomplished without war. I mean, fuck, all this minus lifting the sanctions was already there before the war.
Yeah.
So we spent billions on this war. Some estimating it was around 113 billion, but that's likely a low estimate. As taxpayers, that was our fucking money. So we lost money as a taxpayer.
Right.
So what did we get out of the war in Iran? Well, we lost lives. Iran lost lives. We reopened a once free waterway and slapped an environmental fee on it. We stopped Iran from building a nuclear weapon from the nuclear dust that is buried under a mountain of rubble that only 2 countries can fucking retrieve, that we have a camera on watching it 24/7, 365, and isn't really worth anything in the eyes of the fucking man that started this damn war to stop Iran from having a fucking nuclear weapon. That it makes no motherfucking sense at all. The people got poor. The oil companies and the war machine got richer. We spent billions of taxpayer dollars over there. We wasted a bunch of weapons. And what the fuck do we achieve? I mean, does this look like winning?
No. Not in our eyes it didn't, but other people won. You just named who won. The war machine and the oil companies.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, those people won, but I guess you're right. When you look at it like that, they did win. Now, to be fair, I agree that Trump did the right thing by ending this war, but I think that was his only option. There was no way he could sustain the way we were going.
No.
We had already talked about how we were using, our oil reserves to keep things somewhat affordable level. And our shit's low. And it was also stated that other countries are doing the same thing with their oil reserves. So I'm sure the leaders, the world leaders, were in a slight panic, especially like the Middle East countries. I mean, think about it, the Middle East. The Strait of Hormuz was their lifeline to bring all this stuff in. And it was closed because of this war. And so they can't get, fuck making money, they can't get food in.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just oil.
Yeah.
It was fertilizer and all kinds of stuff that was going through there.
And that was their lifeline to get shit to them. Right.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we shut it down. You can't
Right.
make me believe they wasn't putting pressure on Trump because it was his
No.
fault and they knew it.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, there's somebody might have been influencing, but at the end of the day, if the US government doesn't, green light going to war with Iran, that don't happen. I just
Yeah,
don't see it happen.
Israel's not gonna go there by themselves because
No.
Israel don't have the capability to do it. Though that little people might not. I wish I had the video to show the little cartoon where you got the big dog and the little bitty dog, and the little bitty dog's the mouthy one,
Yeah.
and the
Hey,
big
Butch, where you
dog's the
going, Butch?
muscle.
Where you going,
Yeah,
Butch?
yeah,
Where you going, Butch?
yeah. That's Israel. Israel's the little dog, the Don King.
You're right.
Israel is Don King,
Yep, that's what you had said.
and we're the fighter. We're Mike Tyson or Holyfield or whatever. And they can't do nothing without it. They can't do anything without somebody that has a big military to go in there and handle their stuff.
No, I mean, no, they couldn't. I mean, we showed that. I mean, we just look at the size of them. Without us
Yes.
backing them, there's a lot of things they can't do. And Trump even admits that this week, and I'm gonna show you a video on that a little later.
Yep.
Now, Trump may
Right.
not admit it, but I believe he had two choices, and he knew he had two choices. Either make a deal or we go all out and more.
Mhm.
And the choice he made was to make a deal because, he didn't want to put boots on the ground, and I applaud him for that. We don't want to get our people killed for that shit, but that was the
No.
only way that we were going to get unconditional surrender, if we could, even at that point, and get the nuclear test and all this bullshit that they said at the beginning of this war.
Right.
But he chose not to, and that pissed Israel off. And some of our political people, our warmongers and shit like that, our neocons.
Oh, what's his name from South Carolina? I guarantee he's
Oh,
pissed
yeah.
off, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he wasn't
Lindsey
happy.
Graham. Yeah.
I think Trump might have put him in his place because he kind of started calming down a little bit, but no, he wasn't happy. But he saved lives,
I know he did. Well, let's not. We sound like we're like, man, way to go. We applaud Trump for doing this.
Yes, I
But
think
we
he
don't
made the right
applaud him
decision.
he made the right decision getting out, but he wasn't
Yep.
making the right decision to get in. He
Correct.
need that still has to be held accountable for that. He made that choice, and he listened to some bad people.
And he could have easily took his ego and just pushed all his chips in and just fucking said, hey, look, just like all the other presidents, let's go to a fucking war. Let's fight war for 20 years. Let's see how
Yeah.
many thousands or hundreds of thousands of people we can kill. But he didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he didn't. I hope it don't ever get to that. I hope we get out of there and all that.
Yes.
So just stopping this is
Right.
a win to me. I don't care what we had to give up at this point. I just wanted to win. I just want to get our guys home.
Oh, can we put our tinfoil hat on?
Go
What
ahead.
about all them other big countries over there that Israel had into check, and Iran and the other one were the only two they didn't have? Are these other countries going to say,
No, I think from what they've seen this time, and I don't know all the details because in the agreement, but it looks like most of the Middle East, if not all the Middle East countries, want to put this shit to bed.
I
You know?
know, but I'm just saying where Israel was kind of controlling Saudi and all that,
What?
except for Iran. They didn't have Iran on board. They didn't have this one on board. And Iran was the bigger of the two, right? You pointed that
Yeah.
out. You showed that
Yeah.
big map.
Yeah, I'm just not following where you're going.
Oh, these other countries going to tell Israel to go F themselves from now on.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of that. There's no other country besides the U.S., and Trump's even
Okay.
going to tell you that a little later, that even
Okay.
fucking respects Israel right now.
Okay.
And another thing, I don't want everyone to understand that I'm not giving Trump a pass. A state he did the right thing going to war, like you were just talking about. I mean, but he was smart enough to understand to get the fuck out. I
Yeah.
think we have to, we have to acknowledge that. That's how I am.
Well, yeah, we make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Now he's making a grand mistake, but how do you fix it? And how do you fix your mistakes? And that's what we're applauding him is he's fixing his mistake, as I feel like it.
Well, Axios first reported on June 1st, and this has since been verified, that in a phone call between Bibi and Trump told Bibi he was fucking crazy. He told him, you'd be in prison if it wasn't for me. I'm saving your ass. He said, everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this. And then The Guardian reported that Trump shouted things like, what the fuck are you doing? And accused Netanyahu of ingratitude and poor judgment. So there's that, so maybe they had a spat. Do they not like each? I don't know what's going on between them, but it's nice to see, a little fuck you to Bibi
Yeah.
Netanyahu.
Right.
Now, this week I was listening to, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and there's some very big and popular podcasts and radio shows that are trying to spin this new agreement as this is what you have to do if you don't want to put boots on the ground. And so they're saying shit like, and I'm paraphrasing. It's like, so you think this is wasted time and money, and lives. You think all this is wasted. Well, if you wanted to win, we would have to put boots on the ground, and boots
Right.
on the ground would have cost more money and more lives. So you're saying you wanted that? And the answer to that is like, no, motherfucker. I want people to acknowledge that this war was fucking useless.
Yeah.
Don't spin this shit to make it seem like we, the USA, were in charge all along and everything went as planned. No, man, go fuck yourself. I want them to explain why we went to war. Show us the intelligence that they had that created the sense of urgency for us to go to war.
Because Israel said so. That's the
Yeah, I mean,
intelligence.
yeah, and show us what they accomplished. What did you accomplish? Show us how we, the fucking U.S. taxpayer, are safer today than we were on February 27th. Because I don't know, man. I'm fucking tired of politicians using the lives of our family members to fight fucking wars that only enrich the wealthy and the political class.
Yes, or other countries.
Oh, yeah, other countries. And it does fucking absolutely nothing to help us.
Right. We don't mind to sacrifice if it's for the good of our country, but if it's not for the good of our country, we need to stay the hell out of it. I totally agree with that. I'm tired of being the big brother. I really am. Stop it. If you go run your mouth, you're on your own, right?
I agree with that. Well, it's also stated that Iran will receive $300 billion to help rebuild their country. And I didn't know this until this week, but 300 billion is like roughly what they make a year. That's their GDP in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're going to give them a year's
Their
worth
money.
of revenue. Well, a year's worth of revenue. It won't be their money. No, we're going to give them their money too, which is 24 billion. That's frozen money. And I'll tell you a little more about that in a minute. But, and let me rephrase this. I'm not saying we're giving them money because we're not supposed to be giving them money. So one way or the other, they're going to fucking get money. So if I had to guess based off of everything I've heard and read and shit, I think that they're going to probably get like some loans from somebody in the Middle East, and we're just going to pay the loans to the Middle East.
We're going to pay?
Well, no, we're not going to pay. Plausible
That's what
deniability.
J.D. Vance said none of this is coming out of our money. Basically,
well, no, not going to Iran. Now they're going to have finances. Now, no one said exactly how it's going to be financed. The U.S. was going to help finance this, right?
he said there ain't a dime that's going to come out of the American money going over there, not Iran, but the whole thing. That basically the 300 billion that the Democrats are trying to raise up and say, look, we're got to go, yeah. He said that is us allowing them to make their own money. That's what basically, like you said, that's their yearly revenue. We're going to allow them to make their own money.
No, they're also going to finance the reconstruction of that area. That isn't part of the thing that was signed this week. So what I'm telling you that is because I think this is how it's going to work. And I could be completely wrong, but this is how I think it's going to work. Is someone in other countries going to finance them, and we're just going to give money to, let's say it's Kuwait. We'll just give money to Kuwait.
Right.
Now, whatever Kuwait does with that money, if they use it to pay the money that they financed Iran, that's up to them.
Right.
Now, we didn't give the money to Iran.
Right.
Plausible deniability. We didn't give them shit. We just invested in Kuwait.
Yeah, disinvested.
Then this is what I think was also going to happen. And again, I'm a Trump supporter. When you look at this shit from all these different angles, none of this shit looks good. I wouldn't be surprised if like the Trump family and the Kushner family aren't part of all this fucking redevelopment in Iran.
Right.
Like they were supposed to be in the development of Gaza, or just thinking about it, is that was the incentive to blow up Iran so we could build more shit over there.
Right.
I, it's just my observation, dude. I mean, I could be wrong, but man, none of this shit looks right. It just don't. I just
Right.
so
I
we
don't
did.
I don't understand it.
So we mentioned that they had $24 billion frozen in assets whenever they had all the sanctions shit Iran did. So also in this deal, they'll get a $12 billion of that now, which they might already have.
Right.
And if they're good, we'll release the other 12 billion.
If you're a good boy, we're going to give you the rest of your money. We'll give you your Nintendo Switch back.
And so again, like we said earlier, they'll likely lift sanctions if they're good. If they're a good boy, you're a good boy.
Yeah, good boy.
Now they'll be able to sell oil on the global market, so they'll be able to make more money, just like JD Vance was saying. So yeah, they might become, a lot bigger. They might be able to spend a lot more money on missiles and shit. I
Right.
don't know,
And drones and all that.
but it might help the petrodollar too.
Right.
So if they sell their oil in American money on the petrodollar, I mean, that could be a win, right? I don't know how they're gonna sell it.
I just want to see gas prices come back down, dude. I'm
Well,
just being honest.
that's what a
And
lot of
grocery
people want to
prices.
see. But the problem with that is, and I do too. Don't get me wrong, I do too. I want to see all that shit come down. But what we don't see is what it costs us on the backside. When you start looking at all the money that we pay as a taxpayer to everything overseas that we always fuck up and how much
Right.
all that shit costs, I do want to see the gas price go down. What I don't want to see is the gas price go down and everybody lose, sight of what's actually going on. Where's our money going?
Right.
What happened?
Right.
Look at everything over here. Look, now you're paying $2 gas. Aren't you happy?
Right.
And that's going to make majority of the United States happy because we're just that shallow.
Right.
And again, don't get me wrong. I want to see all that go down, but I don't want people to forget, what we were doing and what we still might be paying. Yes, it's not coming directly out of your pocket, but it's going to come out of your pocket. You just
It
not seeing
is.
it.
It affects us all. I mean, we got to stop. Why is all this money going overseas? Why can it not ever stay here and build infrastructure, build companies, build jobs, take care of America first? What happened to America first?
Well, we have more laws that are against fucking extortion and shit. But if you send it overseas, you can get it back a lot easier.
I'm coming up with a new hat that says ALM, American Lives Matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. Green matters to these people, and they
I-
can move money a lot easier overseas than they can move it in the United States,
Yeah,
and they
you're
realize
right.
that.
It's laundering. Yeah, money
Oh yeah.
laundering. Yeah.
So,
So
and then they tell us this another win for us is they said they took out terrorism, and so I had to go down this. And so, what exactly is terrorism? So let's talk about terrorism.
shit. Here we go.
So since 9/11, the U.S. has spent around $8 trillion on the war on terror. All right?
That's a trillion with a T, people, not a B, not the billions, but that's trillions.
And since 9/11, there have been roughly 940,000 direct deaths in war zones in places like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, etc.
Mm.
Of these 940,000 deaths, somewhere between 387,000 and 432,000 civilians were killed. We lost a little over 7,000 U.S. service members during the same time frame, plus another 8,000 or so contract workers. And we lost roughly 3,000 people in the 9/11 attacks. Now, this doesn't account for the people that were injured and all this shit. This is just the deaths. And I have to admit that the day 9/11, that day is going to haunt all of us to the day we die. And the families and the victims, of 9/11, I can't fathom what these people going through. But the aftermath that followed 9/11 has taken away a lot from us, in the name of safety. But safety from what? And they tell us terrorists. We were made to believe that every Muslim was a terrorist. If they had a scarf or a headdress, they were terrorists. And then our own country started taking our freedoms with the Patriot Act. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you take 2 hours out of your day or your life and watch the movie Snowden. It's a really good watch, and it'll teach you a lot about the freedoms that they've taken away from you, and I'm sure it's a whole hell of a lot worse now. Now, while 9/11, that act of terrorist was heinous, it was used by our government to start spying on us. But of course, this was only to protect you. You know, that's how they sell it to you. It's always for our safety. And if you don't have anything to hide, you have nothing to worry about. That's what they'll. How many people tell you that if you don't have nothing to hide, you don't have to worry.
Oh, I heard that crap at work when they put GPS on our phones the first time back in the day. I was like, "What the hell?" Well, if you're doing everything right, you don't have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to know where I'm at, just call me. I'll tell you where the hell I'm at.
And you could do that if you can trust your company or if you can trust your government. In this case, our government. If you could trust them. But in this case with the government, I mean, do you trust the people that wanted to force you to take an experimental vaccine against your own will? Do you trust the people that wanted to force you to take an experimental vaccine against your will? Do you trust the people that want to put you in jail for being outside by yourself without a fucking mask on? Do you trust the people that allowed the USS Liberty to be attacked by a foreign country and not send help for 17 hours? And we can go on and on. The experiments they've done on citizens, assassinations, buying elections, you fucking name it, they've done it. And you're supposed to fucking trust them not to use your data that they collect to be used against you.
Mm.
All right, so now you fast forward today, you got flock cameras, you got Palantir, they're putting kill switches in everyday passenger vehicles. I mean, people, they're slowly caging you in and you don't even fucking realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it all for your safety. And it's been going on since 9/11 because they want to protect you from the next 9/11. So they keep spying on you and taking more of your freedoms away.
Tell me this doesn't sound like your classic narcissistic, abusive man beating his wife, but he's telling her it's because she deserves it.
It's for your better. It's for your own good.
I'm making this better. Are narcissistic parents that do that to their kids and they tell them this is for your safety and for your own good.
Yeah, lock you in a basement and give you, you know.
Okay, so we all know that. Everybody that watches this and know what we're getting at. You might not realize and say, I don't give a shit about what the government. I go home, I do this, I get on TikTok, I do all this stuff. Yeah, I was the same way, Brian. I didn't give a shit about all that. I don't care. I just go to work, do my shit, come home. But you're right, man. They're taking people like me that ain't paying attention because I don't want to get involved and I don't want to care. Just leave me alone. And I feel like they're leaving me alone, but they're chipping away my freedoms.
And they call people like me conspiracy theorists and are crazy, you know.
Well, it's like putting a live frog in a pot of water.
Yep.
You just turn the heat up a little bit at a time, he'll never jump. Next thing you know, he's boiling and dead. But he'd never seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? Because you just slowly brought it on him. He didn't see it. And that's how we are as Americans.
We've been on a slow ball for a long time.
Yeah.
Or boil, however you other people say it. Slow ball.
Slow ball.
Slow ball.
I guarantee when we put the caption up, it's going to say BALL.
Oh, it definitely will. All right. So do you ever wonder why we have Islamist extremists that all want Americans dead? You ever wonder why they want us dead? You know, because we fuck with them.
We're over there picking on them all the time, dude.
Yeah, if you've been following us, you know that. Well, David Rappaport, he put together this 4 waves of modern terrorist theory, and it's considered one of the most influential frameworks in terrorism studies. And I'm not going to bore you with all the details with them, and I'm not going to suggest that I know everything about, these studies, but note that each wave is about 30 to 40 years long, and he started this study with the first wave in 1879. Currently, we're in the 4th wave, which is considered the religious wave, which started around 1979. Now, there's that fucking year again, 1979. So what happened in 1979? We've talked about it before, the Iranian Revolution, where Iran told the U.S. to go fuck themselves and took control of its country back, and took its own oil back. And we've already gone through all the wars in the Middle East. that we either were in or supported as a proxy, which is just about all of them since the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth pointing out that while this was considered the religious wave, some of it was due to the people of the Islam feeling as if they were losing the grip on their own religion. Countries were modernizing. They were building big cities, factories, schools, and new technology was coming out. And people moved from quiet villages to crowded cities. The world became more connected through TV, movies, internet, trade, and travel. Western culture, especially from America, like music, clothes, movies, dating styles, ideas about freedom and equality flooded in. And the old ways of farming and traditional jobs disappeared. New jobs, money, and opportunities appeared, but so did inequality, unemployment, and Western style consumer culture. A lot of the Muslim people felt overwhelmed and uncomfortable. They saw these changes as breaking apart traditional families and values, making religion less important in daily life, and pushing Western ideas that felt foreign or immoral. They felt like their identity, who they were as Muslims and as a people, were being erased or attacked. As a response, many turned strongly back to religion. They embraced a very strict, pure version of Islam. This gave them clear rules to live by in a confusing new world, a strong sense of pride and identity. That means they were true Muslims. They're not Western copies. It gave them a way to push back against the changes they disliked. This religious revival became very powerful. For some radical groups, it turned into the belief that they must fight, sometimes violently, to protect or restore their faith and their way of life. This is one big reason why the current religious wave of terrorism became so dominant. Now, don't get it twisted. I don't support Sharia law at all. But considering our moral compass in our country today as a whole, looking back, maybe they wasn't so radical. Wanting a wholesome life doesn't seem so bad now.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. It's become normal for people to show their chocolate starfish to the fucking world for clicks and money.
Mm-hmm.
And a practice not so long ago that was considered taboo in our country, it's just normal for a lot of people to accept. And they accept it in society as a power move for women to be doing this shit. And even worse, our society protects pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
So is our culture really better?
No.
Again, I'm not taking up for these people. Them hating us, I can understand why they hate us, because
Right.
if Iran was supporting,
Yeah, just tell me you hate me though. Stop blowing stuff up and shit. That's what I don't like. I mean, it's seriously.
well, this is one thing you got to consider, and I didn't consider this until I started looking at all this shit. We see it as savage that they're blowing shit up, right? They see people blowing up over there. We're blowing their shit up. You see what I'm getting at? For
Yeah, I
them,
understand.
they're going tit for tat. To us, they're doing extreme shit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because we're not being, they're seeing what's happening over there firsthand. We don't see it because the media or whoever's not showing it. Because
Well,
we
not only
already
that,
said that.
they're living it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We're
they're
not
living
living
in
it.
that. Yeah, nobody's over here doing what's getting done to them.
No. So
But when
whenever
there is the circumstance every now and again that happened, oh my God, that was like the Boston Marathon bomb.
right, that's what I'm saying. That's savage to us.
Yes.
That's everyday life to those people,
Yeah.
and we created a lot of that shit.
And we can put our hats back on too and say, well, these people getting paid off to do this to stir us up so we can be okay for us to go over there and whip some ass some more.
I'm glad you're starting to think that way because we're going to go down that rabbit hole too. Now, I want you to think of it this way. All right. So if Iran was supporting war or was
Right.
bringing war to the continent of the United States since the 1950s, would you have hate and discontent for the fucking Iranian people?
Yeah.
So if Iran was partially or solely in some cases responsible for the death of your loved one, would you not want revenge or closure for that shit?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
Anybody
again,
watching this would have to say that.
yeah. And I'm not taking up for them, but I love the USA.
Yeah.
I think we live in the greatest country in the world, but I think we need to quit putting ourselves in shit that we don't need to be in. That's not our business. I don't get it. I mean, we can easily protect our homeland. We don't need
That
to keep putting our nose in other people's shit.
that's what I'm getting at. If we build up our military good enough and train all the time, we don't have to go train live like we keep wanting to do. Our military doesn't want to do that. When we were in, we didn't want to get activate or get sent overseas to go fight a war.
No.
We were fine not doing that. I'm fine training to be prepared, but I'd rather not have to go to war.
Yeah, and I agree. And the people that do disagree, honestly, tell me what country overseas that like in the Middle East that we fought a war in that's better today because of it.
Nobody. Though, if you go back and look at anything like Afghanistan, Iraq, all that stuff that we gotten involved with, it's nothing good came out of that except for people, elites.
People making money hand over fist.
Yes. What was Halliburton?
Oh
Dick Cheney? Yeah. Here comes the hat.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about false flags, and you just talked about it. And we're going to talk about that. And,
Right.
we're talking about how the USS Liberty could have been a false flag to draw us into a war with Egypt, right?
Right.
And so, what about some real false flags? So, we had Operation Northwoods that was proposed but not executed in 1962. This was where the U.S. was going to stage terrorist attacks in U.S. cities and blame Cuba. Now, they even planned to sink a ship off the coast of Guantanamo Bay and hold mock funerals to draw us in a war with Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm hoping that this ship was empty, that it was going to sink, unlike the USS Liberty. But that was part of the plans in the release documents. JFK Jr. stopped that. All right. There's a whole bunch of reasons why they didn't want JFK Jr. alive. How about the Gulf of Tonkin, where intelligence reported that the USS Maddox was attacked by North Vietnamese torpedo boats? Now, this wasn't a stage false flag, but it was used to get us in the Vietnam War. And we talked about the other day or a couple weeks ago about could have Pearl Harbor been a false flag? I mean, it's not proven, but it could have been.
Yeah.
You mentioned this all the time. What about 9/11?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens after all those things? The American people come together and they rally around a common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember 9/11, patriotism was the thing. I mean, at least for 2 weeks, everybody had a fucking flag. Everybody was rah, rah, rah for at least 2 weeks. Everybody at least loved each other.
Yeah, the flag stores made hand over fist. They were out of flags real quick. I mean, you couldn't even find a flag on the internet because they were all bought up.
Yeah, I mean, it went quick.
Yeah.
And it helped gain support for going to war from their country,
Yep.
and all those events, well, except for one that JFK Jr. stopped.
Right.
And they're great at making the other country look like the fucking devil.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not taking up for these countries, especially communist countries. But when you look at these actual details, we weren't all that innocent, when talking about the USS. I mean, the way you felt after 9/11, it's hard to, get that feeling.
Right.
And you don't want to have to get that, that way. But I mean, it was a very good patriotic feeling. And think about how the people after Pearl Harbor must have felt.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have the exact exuberant feeling of, we need to kill some people.
Mm-hmm.
And this pretty much garners the American citizens to do whatever the government wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, is like I said multiple times, is the fucking infomercial model. To create a fucking problem you don't have and sell you a solution you don't fucking need.
That's right.
No.
They make you think you got that problem, but you don't.
No, you don't. And then he just go take more freedom from you.
Hey, and you know what's funny? Back to that, keep your head on. One of the infomercials on. One of those infomercials on. They're on in the middle of the night. And if it was that important, if you really had those problems and needed that shit and be on during the day or during prime time, it would. the FCC and the channels and all that know that that's a scam employee so big, they're going to allow it to happen, but it's only going to be in the middle of the night.
So what you saying? They only selling that shit to the weed and Cheetos people?
Yeah, the third shift people like me. But I'm just saying, it's a select people that watch that stuff.
Oh.
I mean, and I've been to people's houses before they had rooms full of QVC, like hoarders. They had
Yeah.
rooms and stuff they brought off QVC and all these shop televisions.
Man, they got one video I seen not long ago. This house is steadily receiving Amazon packages, and it's all over their fucking yard, and they're
That's my
constantly
house.
receiving them.
That's my house.
I mean, like, nobody's picking them up.
Oh,
It's just all over the yard. Google that one day. It was pretty wild.
okay. Yeah, that
All right.
sounds like fun. Like they got that on like a loop or something.
Yeah, I
It
don't know. I
just
don't know if
automatic-
just like everybody's just fucking with these people. It's just sending random ass packages, just to see how much shit they can put in their yard. That'd be
That's
a
messed
fucked up joke.
Yeah.
Everybody starts sending just random shit to somebody's house. I mean, you could do it cheap as fuck. It wouldn't matter.
Oh no. Yeah. I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but there was this one that said that there was this dude that won a lottery or something big in a lottery ticket or a scratch off or something. He spent $100,000 on manure in dump trucks and had it dumped on his old boss's yard. He went to jail over it, but that was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, he got a very fucking fertilized yard now. He could have sold that manure if he was
Imagine
smart.
coming home and big old piles of shits on your yard because your ex-employee won some money and freaking like gotcha.
If you were gonna do that, you would probably be better off just going shit in the yard. One, it would be a whole hell of a lot cheaper, and you're going to jail anyway. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
I know, but the dude could easily clean that up. I mean, you
Yeah, but I
imagine
mean, just videotaping yourself shitting on his fucking doorstep.
I
mean,
know.
you can't get rid of that.
What? Yeah, I know. Me and you like to keep stuff simple. Just why'd you have to go extreme? Why didn't you just take a big dump in his yard with
Yeah.
a
A
one of
fuck you
those
sign or something.
yeah, whatever that thing is that you
Oh,
got
the
that holds
gimbal?
your camera.
Gimbal?
Yeah, gimbal. The gimbal. I got to get the wife that. I keep forgetting about it. But anyways,
All right. So why am I going over all this shit? Why am I talking about this?
I don't know. Tell me why you're going over.
All right. Because while we're hoping that we're turning the corner on this Iran war, I think everyone needs to be careful and about what you hear and what may happen during the negotiations. So if you listen to the Israeli government, they're upset with Bibi over Trump wanting to end this war. They think Bibi is weak. I thought that was okay. And Israel stated on multiple occasions that the battle for Israel is not over, and they will not be held by any agreement that the U.S. makes with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, there's no telling what Israel may do to keep this fucking war going. All right. We're coming up on our country's 250th birthday, a day we should all celebrate to the fucking fullest. However, this gives bad actors a chance to puff their chest. This also gives Israel a chance to plant a false flag that could result in us continuing this fucking war with Iran.
Right.
I mean, think about it. What if they create a terrorist attack on U.S. soil and blame it on Iran or Hezbollah? American people decide they want some skins for this action, and Israel has the support they need from the U.S. again. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I mean, they got to bring us together. Not for us. They don't want to bring us together for us. They would need to bring us together for Israel.
Right.
And Israel's losing the support of the U.S. people, and that's a fucking problem for them. They need perpetual war and conflict with our support to keep their control of the Middle East. Without conflict and the boogeyman trying to get them, there's no reason for us to support them. Think about it. If they don't have someone trying to kill them at all times, why do they need us? Other than our money. So they have to keep that threat. That's my opinion.
They understand in order for our government to go do something for the whole, they got to get the people to back it or to get on board with it.
Yep. And for them to get on board, they have to be the kid that's always getting beat up.
Because here, listen, they didn't have the people backing this that we're doing now, right? The Iran thing. We can kind of admit that a majority of the people do not support this
Oh
at all.
no, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm just trying to understand what you said. No, I agree with you. Yes,
Okay. Imagine everybody, this is a tinfoil hat. If I had the ability to AI this in the video, I would and put my tinfoil hat on. I need to just buy one. Anyways, who's to say they didn't run a little test to see if the American people would be okay with it? Now they see that they're not. Like you said, now they're going to have to do something to get us on board.
that's
But
possible.
that's how stupid we are.
That's
And
possible.
I'm pot calling the kettle black. Something will happen, and we'll all be like, "Let's go get them." And we're too dumb to see the writing on the wall that was this staged.
And somebody's gonna. That's what I'm trying to say. And somebody's gonna say, "I told you, we got to kill them. We got to kill every one of them." And that's
Oh yeah,
the rhetoric. Now, again, I can't prove that's going to happen, but I'm glad you see it. Also, it's quite possible because these people are fucking crazy. When I say crazy, I'm talking about these fucking people running Israel.
yeah.
And I'm going to show you some stuff here in a little bit. But there was some of the political people that was condemning BB for letting Trump, sign this deal.
Right.
But it was all in Hebrew, so I couldn't understand it, and I had to read it and all this other stuff. So I didn't bring it on for the show. But I mean, they were berating BB because they will not stop fighting. There's nothing that can make. They are not part of that agreement. It's like, who the fuck are you? You know, you got to have some big cojones, or you got to have some big fucking people backing you to sit out there and say that. I mean, that is, you would think that when you're talking to what's supposed to be in us, and which I believe, the world superpower, you would have a little fucking respect.
Right.
But evidently we don't. So they losing the support from us. And then I don't know if you've seen, well, we watched the video last week or the week before last when they were writing Israel's um, military in with us like a merger. Not a merger, but like we're just going to share shit, and we're going to put, instead of just sending them or selling them or however we get them their missiles, we're just going to put it in part of our budget. That way
Yeah.
you don't have to actually
Like,
see what we
yeah,
spend.
we're going to put our resources together. Yeah.
And what's really funny is, and I just thought about this, they asked for another $500 billion, to be put on the what is it, the Pentagon budget.
Yeah.
And now they doing more with Israel. I mean, were we supposed to give Israel $500 billion? I'm not saying, it would be $250 billion. It's still a lot of fucking money. Is that where that was going?
We need it. That probably.
And that
They don't itemize shit, dude. And if they do, they lie about it. And that's the problem. There's no transparency with this government. It never has been. You remember the jokes when you were a kid? Your parents would joke, yeah, the $500 toilet seat, the $1,000 hammer, blah, 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 that the government would say that they're spending money on. They're lying, dude. It's like there's no accountability. And maybe that's why Elon got pushed out so quick with Doge and all that, right? When they were inventory and doing all that stuff,
Quite
he
possible.
probably started seeing some stuff and he wasn't going to keep his mouth shut and they had to cut him off. Okay, we wanted you to come in here and try to clean this up, but it sounds like you can't keep your mouth shut because we know all this crap. We want to show that we're cleaning it up, but we don't need you airing out.
No, he caught too much too fast. He was moving way too fast.
Yes.
So he's like, whoa. We figured it was going
Right.
to take you at least 10 years to at least cut, $100. But no,
Yeah.
man, you're moving way too fast.
Yeah, you come in here with the most genius mother effers in the world and go and do this in a year. No.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to bring like all your boy geniuses. When they seen a bunch of kids show up, they just started laughing. And then kids just started
on the keyboard, like,
because it was
right
true.
here.
They were just dogging on them about how young they were. And I'm thinking, fuck, if I had to do something like that, I wanted younger people because they're a hell of a lot smarter than I am.
Hell yeah, they are.
Shit.
No shit.
Look,
But anyways, yeah, that's what it's crazy. I mean, how you don't even. No, I don't want another country involved in my budget and my military and all that stuff. Stop it. The best offense is defense.
You know what tells me that they lost the support of the American people, though, is
What?
that Israel or AIPAC convinced our politicians to write in policy of us giving them money and intelligence so they don't have to ask for it anymore because they know that we won't support it.
Right.
That's how I know that they know
Oh
that they have
yeah,
a
they're
problem.
trying to push policy to make us support them, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, now we have no choice in this
Yeah, I'm
policy.
trying to refrain from language too much tonight, but I mean, certain things it just brings it out because I'm going to highlight and capitalize and put all kinds of pizzazz on my words with this crap. Because, dude, you know what else tells me? You don't not pointing you out, calling you out, but in church, there's a lot of people now that's not backing them either in church.
Yeah, that's a
You
big
see
one.
what I'm saying?
It's big and it's good. I mean, you see them for what they were,
Yes.
and that always comes out in the wash. And
Yeah.
you can only pretend so long.
Yeah.
Now, we know that these acts of terrorism makes everyone scared, and
Mhm.
when they got you scared, the government comes in to save you. They give you safety again in the form of taking your fucking freedoms. And
Mhm.
earlier I showed you what they've taken or what they've done since 9/11. So just keep your ear to the ground, enjoy yourself. And if something does happen, just question it. Why?
Mhm.
Why did it happen? What was the purpose of that? We have way too much information today to sit there and just listen to Fox or CNN,
Mhm.
because they're going to do whatever they have to do and spend the information however they need to spin it to collect the check. I mean, that's what they do.
Right. Yeah. We're not paying CNN and Fox. I think the government's paying them to push stuff out to us a certain way to get us to get on board.
Quite possible. Now,
Take that to the start digging into that, people. That here,
well,
this is what.
well, when you look at Fox and CNN, that's a lot of Israel money too. No matter where you go, the money is going to direct the information, from big places like that.
Mhm.
And that's why they hate social media. That's why they hate small podcasts. They can't control it. I mean, they can. It just takes a lot of them to control it.
Oh yeah, like we're not even going to get into the little thing of some of our videos being halted for pedophilia
I can't
and
understand the one though.
child trafficking.
It took
Yeah,
mine
save
down
our
for
children's.
Save Our Children. That makes no motherfucking sense. How is that wrong to fucking say Save Our Children?
Hashtag save our children. That is so crazy. I'm just gonna start watching what I put on my title and my hashtags and let it rip. I'm gonna put show your butthole. And I guarantee, dude, it'll go viral because that is sad, people. Anybody listening to this, please support this. And please voice your opinion too. That all these dang girls with daddy issues talking about their starfish and all that crap. I can name some of the names. I'm not going to that I see all the time on there.
Why you
They get
see
all
them all
these
the time?
views. The algorithm or whatever. I don't know. I just skip and scan and there they are.
I don't get the same videos.
You got well, because you're on the black web, you're getting all the dang
Yeah,
crazy
you're
hat
probably
stuff that you're
probably right.
watching.
Probably right.
I'm watching the comedy and all the stuff, and with that, you're gonna get the damn girls with the daddy issues. But anyways, they're sitting there talking about this, that, and this, and guess what?
Chicken butt.
Yeah, nobody cares. But then we put save our kids,
Yep. Save our
and TikTok
kids.
says, "Oh hell no, hell no, that's where we stop. We're good for buttholes and feet pictures."
When I seen that, I was like, "Oh, you said." What I figured was there's got to be something that's like derogatory about Save Our Children. It has to be, and I haven't looked it up. But if it's not, we live in a fucked up ass society.
Yeah, TikTok, you got your shit back. You got your shit backwards, and I know you're not watching my video. The only way you'll take my video down if I can get past. You're looking at words on my captions, so I'm gonna turn the captions off too. Screw them.
Fuck 'em.
If you can't hear, sorry. Just read lips. We'll try to move our lips where you can read them. I'll take the captions off. The title will say "Showing my butthole." Hashtags will say feet pics, feet finder, whatever. So TikTok will allow it, and then you'll hear the story of what we're talking about that needs to be heard. And it won't get taken down unless people complain. Unless TikTok won't watch it.
No.
There ain't like some police thing that they're watching. It'll be complaints about people. And if you're complaining about what we're putting out on that stuff, you're part of the problem.
Oh yeah.
You got some nasty crap in you.
We're
that
gonna
you
talk
need to
about a
go
lot
get
of
looked
that in
at.
the next episode.
Yeah. But
All right. So I don't know if you noticed or seen, but Trump has come out and he blasted Israel over Lebanon. And I was questioning this. So is this Trump pivoting away from Israel, or is this just another wrestling ploy, to win voters over for the midterms? You know what I'm saying? You always talk about the wrestlers, they talk this shit, then they go in the back and they all friends, right? So is this Trump actually pivoting and saying, go fuck yourself? Or is this just the heel and the hero in the middle of the ring? That makes sense.
yeah. I mean, I whatever he was saying about, I was like, who's this dude? It's like two different people.
Yeah, well, watch this one.
Yeah, show me a good clip, because this was funny.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long, and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody, because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses, and they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. Lebanon used to be a great country. It was a country where you had professors, doctors, lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. Now it's terrible. I would say of all countries, they've been treated the worst. And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem for them. So, no, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and with Hezbollah. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal, and that's the deal with Iran.
That's the deal with Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Such thing.
No, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I wanted to hear before we got into this mess.
Yeah. But
like, Israel just needs to stop.
But is this a real pivot, or is this a wrestling ploy?
That's what
I don't know either. I'm hoping it's a pivot. I really am.
I am too. I hope that he's like, you know what? I know you got this over us, and I probably got some friends that are going to go down with some information that's going to come out soon. But you know what? I am not going to be tied to this no more. I'm getting out of this while the getting's good. I messed up. I should have never got in it. But I hope there was some heart to heart with Israel with Bibi between him saying, you're done. You tell your AIPAC dudes to get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Start calling out these people that are bought off by AIPAC.
Well, we got a little bit more. So Bibi's people think, I said earlier, they think he's weak because he didn't hold Trump out of this agreement. And this is Julian Dory. And tell me, after listening to this, that these people in Israel are going to fucking stop.
I have warned forever about the hardliners in the Israeli government and to take them at their word when they open their mouths. So when you see the finance minister many times, Smotrich, discuss Greater Israel and how the Bible has promised his country that they should own effectively, it's like land that is equal to all of Jordan, most of Lebanon, a lot of Syria, a bunch of Iraq, some of Saudi Arabia, good luck with that, and some of Egypt. When you see them then move the borders up to the Litani River in Lebanon with an offensive attack where they are sending all their soldiers, as I laid out last week, to fight rather than go fight in Iran while they're asking our guys to put our people on the ground there. When you see them do that, and then when you see Smotrich come out and he admitted it on video, it's in Hebrew, we don't have to play it, you can find it online, say they're taking the land. This is what they're doing. They're ethnically cleansing the land. They're blowing up all the houses for the people not to return, and they are moving their borders farther. And then the defense minister, Katz, comes out and says the same fucking thing. When you see this, again, I tell you, I use this all the time. Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, fucks like a duck. It's a duck.
It's a duck.
Yeah, I've never heard the F's like a duck, though. That's a good one. No,
Well,
put that in my pocket.
so yeah, I don't think those people are quitting. You know, they have a mission. Now, how they accomplish that
yeah,
mission?
they're balls deep. They're not backing out. They ain't pulling out.
And it's been talked about a lot, you know, that Israel may have a nuclear weapon or 400 or however you want to count them, but Iran can't have one. And I want you to listen to this short clip from a debate at Oxford in 2018 between Mahdi Hassan and Danny Alan. And Danny is an Israeli diplomat. Listen to this shit.
How many nuclear weapons does Iran have as of today?
Right now, I hope none.
Okay, how many does Israel have?
No idea.
No idea. You were in the government. They don't tell you that stuff.
No idea.
Who do they tell?
No idea.
Do you recognize the hypocrisy of Israel
No.
having a secret illicit nuclear weapons program that it won't open up its doors to and won't talk about, and then lecturing everyone else in the region about nuclear
Absolutely
weapons?
not. You know why?
You talk about hypocrisy. If an Iranian guest came on my show and I asked him about Iran's nuclear program, he said, I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it. Would you be okay with that? You'd be outraged.
Of course.
And
I
yet
would
you
be.
sit here as a former
Of course I
minister of
would
the
be,
Israeli
because-
government saying, oh, I don't know, I never talked about nukes with anyone.
Because there was like 16 United Nations Security Council resolutions against Iran.
And there
Iran
is
was a
against
signatory
Israel.
of
And there is
the
against Israel as
Not
well.
About
Your nuclear
issues?
program?
No.
Yes, there is. UN
So-
Resolution 487. Let me read it to you. The UN Security Council in 1981 says, calls upon Israel urgently to place its nuclear facilities under the safeguards of the IAEA. Why haven't you done that?
Because
Iran has never attacked a neighbor. Israel has repeatedly attacked its neighbors. Iran signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Israel has refused to sign. Iran submits to inspection by the International Nuclear Energy Agency. Israel refuses to submit. Iran has no nuclear weapons. Israel has between 75 and 400 nuclear weapons. So Israel poses an existential threat to Iran. For the last 40 years, Israel has conducted a systematic campaign of disinformation about Iran. Why the lies? Why the double standards? Why the hypocrisy?
And for those of y'all listening, that last guy that's talking, he's an Israeli historian. What you think about that?
It's sad, man.
Well, that historian, here's a little bit more from him on what he thinks.
I served in the IDF in the mid-1960s. Israel most emphatically, most decisively is not a democracy. It's an ethnocracy. It's a system in which one ethnic group dominates the others. And there is another word for ethnocracy, and that is apartheid. And this is what Israel is.
And maybe that's why everybody's anti-Semitic, because they hate every other race. And so they projecting themselves upon you. So they think you hate them.
Yep.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. And that's the guy was, if I remember right, was an IDF soldier and also the Israeli historian. So he knows a little bit.
Yeah, he's not like from another country sitting there bashing them and spreading false info. He's Israeli.
And yeah, so now,
And he was in the military, so shut him out. You know, like he's got some background. He's seen it just like we can. Like non-military people sitting there wanting to talk about military. You just don't do that around veterans because you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Respect that dude. That dude probably knows some stuff.
he knows something about something.
Yeah, because that one dude up on the stage didn't try to fight back. He was like,
Well, let me ask you this: how many times have you heard about Israel having nuclear weapons?
you never hear about it.
No.
You don't know how many they got.
And they were actually talking about, well, there was leaks, and it could be wrong, but allegedly Israel had talked about using the nuclear option on Iran. Now, here's a interesting video we'll discuss on the other side about their nuclear facility.
This is a photograph of a nuclear facility in the Israeli desert. It was built in secret, paid for by France, and one American president tried to shut it down. He was gone within the year, 1963. President John F. Kennedy was locked in a confrontation with Israeli Prime Minister Ben-Gurion over the Dimona nuclear facility. The documents exist. They are held at the National Security Archive in Washington, D.C. Kennedy's letters were near ultimatums. He demanded biannual inspections. He warned, in writing, that Washington's commitment to and support of Israel could be, quote, seriously jeopardized if the program continued unchecked. Ben-Gurion's response ignored the question entirely. On June 15, 1963, Kennedy's final ultimatum letter was drafted. It was never delivered. Because the day before it was due to arrive, Ben-Gurion resigned. The U.S. Embassy was instructed to hold the letter pending further instructions. Those instructions never came. 5 months later, November 22, 1963, Dallas. Lyndon B. Johnson became president. Within months, the inspection demands were quietly dropped. Within years, the United States adopted what it called a policy of nuclear ambiguity, an official refusal to acknowledge Israel's nuclear capability. That policy has held through every administration since. No inspections, no acknowledgement, no pressure. A policy Kennedy died fighting against became permanent American law before the year was out. The documents are in Washington. The facility is still running. And the question nobody in government will answer is what exactly changed on November 22nd, 1963?
JFK was a thorn in the side, huh?
yeah, he ain't alive anymore, is he?
Nah. Poor bastard.
Yeah, just a Marine sniper up in the building, you know, just was having a bad day.
Yeah, I don't get why we allow them to have what they have and why we support them the way we do, but I truly believe the American
Because we
people.
were conditioned to protect them because of the Bible.
And see, yeah, I guess
They
that's why.
twisted that. They twisted that.
Oh, I agree with you. I guess it's weird for me because I've never looked at it that way.
Going to the Old Testament,
No,
Jacob was named Israel. Israel is not a country. Jacob was named Israel. God named him Israel. He didn't name him a country. That's a name, like Brian.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And it's just the lineage of Jesus Christ is all of the Old Testament showing, right?
But that doesn't mean
So-
that they should be able to have a nuclear facility. That doesn't
No,
make sense.
No, I'm just saying that America's infatuation with Israel is through because they manipulate the word of God, and it's wrong. If you really study it and get into it, that's not what it is.
Well, good thing is I think the American people are waking up, and I think we won this war by waking American people up. Maybe not me and
Yeah.
you, but people are waking up. And I
Yes.
think the Trump administration, I hope it's not a ploy. I hope it's not the wrestling ploy. I hope the Trump administration is really realizing that this blind loyalty to Israel isn't good for our country. They
That's
know
right.
damn sure it's not good for the midterms. But I
No.
hope they understand it's not good for our country. And it's not.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm hoping it's not just a ploy to get the midterm numbers up, and then as soon as that happens, then we go right back to doing this crap again.
Well, we still got
Ooh.
politicians like this stupid motherfucker. Listen to Ted Cruz.
Today, more than ever before, the U.S.-Israel alliance and friendship is under assault. It's under assault from forces in the United States that would try to break that friendship. I think that's profoundly dangerous. America is friends with Israel. because it is unambiguously in America's national security interest to be friends with Israel. Israel is fighting the enemies of America. Every Hamas terrorist that Israel kills, every Hezbollah terrorist, every IRGC terrorist, makes America safer. We stand with Israel because standing with Israel makes Americans safer. And when the Ayatollah chants death to Israel and death to America, he means it. And those voices in American politics that want to engage in appeasement are profoundly undermining U.S. national security.
Do you see all that Israeli money just coming out of his breeches?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he had one of those yarmulkes tattooed on his fucking head.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Anyway, as you saw earlier, Trump is pushing back against Israel. And he even said this week, and I'm paraphrasing, that it's, I don't know how you say it, it's stupid to let everyone in the Middle East have weapons or the ability to defend themselves and not allow the same for Iran, which makes a lot of fucking sense. You know, that what a lot of people have been saying. And he got a lot of shit for it, but it was nice to hear something like that. And I mean, fuck, Israel has nuclear bombs, but yet they want to neuter Iran.
Yeah.
You know? But listen to JD Vance. He probably says the best.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into hypotheticals that could torpedo the deal, because I think the president's expectation is that all of our friends, the Israelis, the Arabs in the region, we're going to work together and actually see this deal to completion. Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you've seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
He speaks too well for me. You're like, boom, bitch.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. You know,
Yeah,
I
did too.
hope he believes that. You know, I really do. I hope that's in his heart. You know, that's
Yes.
just not fucking lip service. I really do.
Yes. Same here.
I got one more from Trump, and this one got a little bit of everything in it for me. You know, it's got a little bit of the Trump I get tired of hearing. You know, we'll call that, you know, the greatest Trump, the Trump,
Yeah.
Trump, the best Trump,
Right.
the bestest, and there's nothing like him. And then there's the guy that makes him just seem like another guy, and we'll call him the witty Trump, and that's the guy I like.
But nobody's touching it. We also have cameras. That's what Space Force is. We have the greatest military in the world, by the way. But I'm proud of Space Force because I started it. We have Space Force cameras on every single door, well, there are no doors. They've been pretty well shattered. But every area of that, if somebody walks in and he's got a badge with his name on it, like Mohammed something, which is about a 50-50 guess, Mohammed something, they can tell the name. They can give you a serial number. We can see things you wouldn't believe, the quality of the stuff that we have. That's why we've been so successful. That's why our blockade will go down in the annals of history as being unbelievable. Nobody's ever seen a blockade like that. It's like a steel wall.
So you got a little bit of everything.
Trump's a freaking HR nightmare, dude. Muhammad something, you know, that's 50% of their names over there.
Is he wrong?
No, he's not. But dude, you just come on, man. Don't. That's disrespectful.
It
It's like
is.
talking.
It is, but I like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a
It's
fucked
like saying,
up individual.
that dude's so fat he's got more chins than a Chinese phone book. I mean, you just don't say that.
No, I agree with you. Is it going to offend people? It's going to offend a lot of people, you know. But see, that's what a regular guy would say. That's what I like about it. You know, that's not the politician in them. That's what I would say. Yeah, you know. And it's not
Unless your
because
name
I'm
was
racist.
Muhammad.
It's because I would thought it was funny.
If
You
your
know,
name was Muhammad, you wouldn't be saying that.
No, I would think it was. If I lived in the Middle East and I had the sense of humor that I have today,
Right.
and my name was Muhammad, and I knew as I was growing up, when they said Muhammad, 25 of us would turn around. I would
Right.
think that was funny. You know what I'm getting at?
Okay.
There is funny behind the truth. It doesn't mean it's racist. It doesn't mean it's xenophobic. It's just he's taken that area with the most popular name and using it to make a joke. And I appreciate that.
Okay, you're different than me. I'm like, I'm the guy that's saying, dude, did you just say that shit?
No, it's not politician like I that's why I like it.
Yeah, I know, but Brian, that's not tactful. Well, you know
Not
what
at
tact
all.
is.
Not at all.
And you got to be tactful with that microphone.
I agree with you. He needs to support everyone. I'm not arguing that.
Okay. But then you're like, I'm fine with him saying
I
that.
am fine with him saying that.
I'm not. He's not being tactful.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, he is not. He's another dude to me. That's what I like.
Okay.
I'd like another dude.
Well, we're not at the bar joking though. He's in front of the cameras and all that. He needs to be a little bit more tactful about that. Okay, thank you.
All right. So in looking at all this information, I come up with a bunch of numbers that I thought was interesting, and it's not nerding out. It's we go on this war on everything. So we had this war on terror we talked about earlier, which cost us $8 trillion since 9/11. All right. And in the last 25 years, we spent roughly $320 billion a year fighting terrorism. You would think by now we'd be safe, right?
Yeah. Worse now than what we did before we started spending money.
Since 1971, we spent $1 trillion fighting the war on drugs. That worked.
Yeah, it did. So you're talking about a gummy over here. Yeah, it worked really well. We got states legalizing it now.
Yeah, we got it was estimated today that we're spending between 30 and 40 billion a year fighting drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't include the billions of dollars that the states are paying. In 2015 alone, states have paid around $7 billion on drug incarcerations alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got to be doing better on the war on poverty, right? Since 1964, we spent over $22 trillion on the war on poverty. Over $350 billion a year since 1964.
And we still poor.
Yeah, and I think it's a great moral cause for helping people, poor people, but the system is broken and people abuse the shit out of it.
Oh, they're living off of it, dude. It's there to get you on your feet, not to live off of.
All right, so the last one. How about the war on crime? It started in the mid 1960s. You want to guess what we spent on this one?
I don't even want to know. I mean, dude, it's
all right. Well, it don't have a good accumulative. They didn't keep a good record on how much they spent.
Oh, no shit.
Because crime is pretty broad. But they did do it. They did record it in 2021. And in 2021 alone, they spent 270 to 300 billion was spent on crime. But we started that war on crime in the mid 1960s, and we're still spending $300 billion a year fighting it. It's a fucking hell of a war. Somebody's making a lot of money.
I know.
All right, so one last thing, and I caught this today, and I think you'll enjoy this. It's about 5 minutes long, but good old Tulsi Gabbard on her last day. I don't know if you've seen this. She had a great day. It wasn't so great for Fauci, but it was great for her. She pretty much told Fauci to go fuck himself. This video is about 5.5 minutes long, but it's worth it. And if you question COVID, you're gonna like this.
Before the COVID pandemic, Dr. Fauci, as head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, provided millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, work which is now widely viewed as the source of the unintentional lab leak that sparked the pandemic. Now, in support of President Trump's maximum transparency mandate, today, on my final day as Director of National Intelligence, I'm releasing never-before-seen communications and documents that expose exactly how Fauci worked with politicized career leadership in the intelligence community to suppress the truth about his actions, the virus's lab leak origins, and his role in directing U.S. funding for this dangerous research that caused immeasurable harm and countless lost lives. Now, these documents expose Fauci's direct role in influencing and manipulating IC assessments on COVID-19 and how Fauci lied to Congress in 2024 when under oath he denied knowledge of or participation in discussions with intelligence officials about viral research. We also received testimony from multiple intelligence community whistleblowers who reported retaliation for challenging the intelligence community's manipulation of intelligence on the virus's origins, once again revealing a clear pattern of suppressing dissent, silencing critics, and burying the truth. Dr. Fauci's close relationships with the intelligence community enabled him to assume three key roles that shield him from scrutiny. First, Dr. Fauci funded dangerous gain-of-function coronavirus research linked to Big Pharma and their pursuit of universal vaccines worth trillions of dollars. Second, Dr. Fauci was the behind-the-scenes advisor who, alongside his hand-picked so-called experts, pushed the intelligence community to endorse a natural animal origin to hide his dangerous gain-of-function research that he funded using taxpayer dollars, all of this in a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and shift the blame and attention away from Fauci's own actions. Third, Dr. Fauci became the nation's pandemic pundit, and he publicly pushed lies, disinformation, and censorship using every platform available. Now, according to hundreds of reviewed emails, which are included in this release, the intelligence community almost always incorporated Fauci's recommendations. He promoted a fraudulent paper whose publication he helped prompt as legitimate information for intelligence community consideration. Senior analysts praised Dr. Fauci not as a policymaker, but as what they called an unbiased guide to the real coronavirus experts, while deliberately ignoring experts who might dissent from Fauci's narratives. Now, Fauci didn't stop there. He blatantly lied to Congress under oath during his 2024 testimony to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic, denying that he ever spoke to any intelligence agency about COVID. Now, the correspondence I'm releasing today directly contradicts his sworn testimony. Now, we received statements from multiple whistleblowers revealing that the intelligence analysts who dared to challenge Dr. Fauci's COVID origin conclusions faced threats of retaliation, marginalization, and many suffered career setbacks. For example, a contractor was terminated just days after coming forward to ODNI as a whistleblower. Another example, those who advocated for the lab leak hypothesis or expressed dissenting views were reminded by their managers that leadership would determine which analysts would be promoted and which would not. The message was clear: go along or be punished. Senior leaders also sought to undermine whistleblowers by removing anonymity, which is required in the whistleblower process, as they made their complaints, and also insisting that their managers or attorneys be present during ODNI meetings where these whistleblowers were coming forward with their testimony, obviously creating an atmosphere of intimidation. The COVID pandemic caused tremendous hardship and pain for millions of our fellow Americans and countless people around the world. Now, after years of lies and censorship and cover-ups, the American people deserve transparency, truth, and accountability. The tactics that were used to hide the truth are straight from the deep state playbook. Politicized self-serving leaders like Dr. Fauci covered up their own wrongdoing and abuses of power, manipulated intelligence, lied to Congress, and undermined a duly elected president by by restricting his access to the vital facts he needed to keep the country safe. It's time you know the truth.
Ain't nothing gonna happen though.
No, because he was pardoned by Biden.
Yep. Fucked up. I hope they do something. They got to find something. Well, now that he's pardoned, they did say when they did pardon him, since he's pardoned, he can go in and give a testimony and be honest because they can't hold nothing against him. So he can't plead the fifth because he can't go to jail for it.
Yep.
So go ahead. Sing like a fucking bird. Be a connect. Whatever they fucking do.
Yep.
But I think it was good. Fuck you on the way out. Hey, bye. Hey, Fauci. Fuck you. So.
You think she's voluntarily leaving for the family issue or reasons, or do you think she's?
I went back and forth on that. I don't know. I think I don't know if she would lie that much with a family member. I don't know any of these people, and they could all be a bunch of pieces of shit. But from what I've seen of her, I would think that we could trust her. You know,
I know, but I'm just saying.
So I would think that she would. What I'm getting at is, I would think that she wouldn't lie about a family. If she was going to leave and lie about something, I think she might lie about something that inordinate, not a family member.
I understand. I'm still saying I think we talked about this. She can her husband can get very good medical care or whatever with her job that she's got and all that stuff. I think it's there. It's a way out. I'm done. Is what I'm getting at. She's not.
Oh,
she's not lying about it.
Gives her a out.
It gives her an out, and she's wanting to wipe her hands clean of this crap that's going on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking, because I can see in her, hearing her voice and her eyes, she does not like lying and covering shit up.
Yeah, I think that she's, if not, I don't believe any of them are honest, because I don't think you can be in those positions and actually be honest.
Not full honest.
Not full honesty, right?
Yes,
but I think she's one of the more honest of all politicians.
I think she's got morals.
Yeah.
More morals than most people up there, and I think it's really wearing on her, and she just found her out, and I'm taking it.
And anybody that disagrees with what I just said, when you think of the way I think, even in your job, there's sometimes somebody will ask you something, you know, like somebody that works for you, you can't tell them the answer, and you might tell them, you don't know, that's lying. I don't care how you look at it, you're still lying.
Yeah.
You know, so, and that's how I look at things in micros like that. So I think there's sometimes that she just can't be completely honest in the position she's in, but I think she's more truthful than most. Okay. Well, that's it. You got anything else, Jason?
Nope.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. I hope it was y'all had just as much fun as I did. You know, it was a little long. We'll see what we can do. But until next time, this is the Sense and Senseless podcast. I am Brian.
I'm Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Peace.